Michael Madsen, Keith David, Angie Everhart, and Roy Scheider.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time for Mr. A. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, out of blueness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Executive Target from 1997. Now, if I could put it in front, there'll be a little clip or piece of the trailer. And a good chunk of that is the movie. This is a movie that is done in the days of PM Entertainment. Pretty much them and New Image were the guys that felt the more embodiment of Canon films. The way Canon films were in the 80s, PM Entertainment, New Image were in the 90s. New Image would do films like Deadly Outbreak with Jeff Speakman, among others. While PM Entertainment, they did Land of the Free, where Jeff Speakman went up against William Shatner. That's a fun film. I think a friend of mine has a Blu-ray. I could not find the Blu-ray. So, I don't know where he found it. Last Man Standing with Jeff Runcott's a really good one. Zero Tolerance, Robert Patrick, definitely one of the best ones. I believe Riot with Gary Daniels. Like, those are some of my favorite PM Entertainment films. And when they start off in the late 80s, they were not really that good. But when you got into kind of the mid-90s era, you would get films like this where, I don't know how they did it, but they had the money to create some insane action sequences. Car chases, explosions, gunfights, squibs. I mean, there's more car crashes, cars flipping, cars pretty much made of TNT that explode, helicopters landing, falling on the cars. There's more in this movie than like all the Smokey and the Bandit films put together. I mean, there's more than a lot of big budget, $50, $100 million films. And there's a lot of PM Entertainment films that fall in that category. Same with, films like Land of the Free. At least you had a guy in Jeff Wincott or Gary Daniels or Jeff Speakman in Land of the Free who could fight. So you have that action as well. You don't have much. Here is much more car chases, car crashes. Entertaining stuff. I mean, the movie for 90 minutes, it's entertaining, and you'd be surprised just how much action is in it. And if that's what you're looking for, which I think if you watch this film it is, and you tell they didn't really have much money for other stuff. The plot of the film is Roy Scheider from Jaws, Blue Thunder. He plays the president. He's going to cut defense military spending. People are pissed. They want to find a way to get the president. So, Keith David, from John Carpenter's The Thing, They Live, he's our main villain, and he's hamming it up. But at least he's having fun. Keith David, he's going over the top, but he's having fun as the villain. He's part of this underground sector called Area 55. Now, the corridors of the underground little tunnels to get to it are pretty low budget. They look like kind of rejects from a Saturday morning live action show. So it's like, but hey, if that's to put the budget more into these car crashes, explosions, and crazy stunt work, I could live with it. I could live with it. So they need to get the best driver, and that's Michael Madsen. Michael Madsen, who was in Species. He would go on to work. He was in Reservoir Dogs. He would go on to work in the Kill Bill films for Quentin Tarantino. I like Michael Madsen. I like him as an actor. I wouldn't say this is one of his strongest roles, meaning it's cool to see Michael Madsen as the hero and as the lead because I just like him. But there are times that he feels a bit understated or he's a bit checked out. And I think there's a lot of times he could have been a lot more intense or a lot more gun-ho. Case in point, if you watch Zero Tolerance with Robert Patrick, he's committed. He's intense. His family's been killed. He's angry. He's upset. It has a lot of action as well. But Robert Patrick's performance is really solid in that. One of his more underrated performances. So I'm thinking, man, if you had Robert Patrick in this or someone else fully committed, it's not like it's the most terrible Michael Madsen performance, but you tell he's a bit, he'll be talking, be like, he's just not feeling it 100%. And he can't, like Species, which was 2 years before. He did a really good job in Species. So maybe he just didn't care about I don't know, just felt a bit off. It's cool to see Michael Madsen, but he could have been stronger. And they don't really have him do like fist fights or anything. A little bit of shooting at the end, but he's more of the driver. So he's in prison. He's part of in the prison bus. They break him out, and this is where the action is like fucking 3 vehicles crash into the bus, and the bus flips over, and part of it breaks off, and there's explosions here, explosions there. Other prisoners are shot up. They get Michael Madsen, but then Michael Madsen, someone left the keys in the car because they're an idiot, and he drives off, and the cops are chasing him, and this cop car's flipping here, flipping there, crashing through here, explosion there. Again, anytime a car hits another car, they're made of fucking TNT. It's very fun. It's very over the top. A lot of crashing, a lot of flipping. If you like car crashes, this is Car Crash the movie. If you call it Car Crash the movie, it would fit. This Car Crash the movie. One thing leads to another. He goes to see a friend. Then he goes to try to see his wife. They're kind of on the outs because he was in prison and so forth. He was accused of cheating on her as well. They get caught by the bad guys. Brought to the cheap-looking underground lair. Then waiting for the 3 ninjas to come in and fight. Hiya, 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 hiya. Once in a while, there's a fun bit of dialogue that made me chuckle. Like Michael Madsen. They're forced him to do this robbery, and he'll be the driver, so he's looking at the vehicle, and he's talking to this guy. He's like, you have anything to do besides bug me? And the guy goes, well, I do your wife, but she's taking a nap. I did like that bit. And the movie doesn't go too long before we see another action scene. Because he does the getaway, there's more action, there's a baby carriage that he has to miss, and then he swerves, and cop cars are flipping through here, flipping through there. He drives through not a fruit stand, but the entire supermarket of fruit that's in this one, I don't know what the hell you call it, not this one area that, I don't know if it's under a bridge or something. He like drives through in the van, is going through all, he got to turn around and he goes the other way. Although if you notice, in the shots of the van when it's driving, like driving through the supermarket stuff, if you look in the back, you see no cop cars chasing him. You hear the sirens, and then it'll cut to cop cars, but in the lawn shots when you see the van like driving, and like the camera's here up top, and it's when it's driving, you look behind here, there's no cop cars behind them like chasing them. So it's okay, today you drive from here to here, crash into every damn thing you can. Okay, now you do it the other way, film it. What about the cop cars? We'll just have the cop sound effects. And also there's a lot of times where they go, something happens, and thankfully there must be some kind of ramp. Like there's a construction, and he jettisons up. There's another bit that thankfully through that fruit supermarket, whatever the hell I don't even know how to call it. He crashes through like this truck, this vehicle ramp thing, is able to. It's really good stunt work. It's fun to watch in that instance, and that's the thing with this movie. Yeah, Roy Scheider, he's in a little bit at the beginning, one or twice in the middle, and then doesn't really come back in until like the last 20 minutes. Keith David is having fun. Go back to Roy Scheider. It's always great to see him because I'm a big fan of him for Jaws and Blue Thunder and such. 2010 I liked quite a bit. The year we made contact. Always nice to see him in there. Who else? I said Michael Madsen. He's, like I said, I liked him, but he could have done a better job. Angie Everhart. She was in some films from time to time. She's one of the bad guys. And really, the stunts are the star of the movie. The stunts, the car chase, the car flips. If you have a drinking game with how many car crashes and chases and explosions, you will die of alcohol poisoning. That's just the case. You will be dead. And I remember first seeing these films. When did I first see these films? I'm trying to think. I found these films much later in life. I didn't grow up with them. It must have been around 2011, 2012. I think just I would hear about it from my friends. I'm like, what's PM Entertainment? I didn't know who they were. And then again, Land of the Free, Last Man Standing, Jeff Wincott, not the Bruce Willis, although that's a good one as well. Riot with Gary Daniels, Zero Tolerance with Robert Patrick. You know, wow. They put a lot of action in these movies. Not all of them, but a lot of them. It's like, wow. And they're pretty damn good stunt work. Like, this is stunt work that would work in a theatrical movie. In fact, sometimes the stunt work is better than the theatrical movies other studios are doing. And I don't know how they can afford it. I don't know if they just... Did they own a damn city? They said, just do whatever you want in the city? With all these cars? Like, how could they do it? I don't know. Matthias... the bad guy from I Come in Peace with Dolph Lundgren. Some say Matthias Hughes, some say Matthias Hughes. Depending on which movie trailer you watch, they pronounce it differently. But the bad guy from I Come in Peace, he's in it for like this much, and then he gets shot, and it's like not used much at all. I thought that was kind of a waste. Because he has a good, intimidating look. I think he could be used a lot more. Again, couple minutes, he's in it. One thing leads to another, and Michael Madsen's back with the bad guys. It's like, well, that robbery where you were the getaway driver, that was... I know I'm spoiling it, but you know, this is one of those films that you don't watch for the plot. If you ever watch this, it's because you want to see action and stunt work and car flips and car explosions. But the deal is, that was training for the real job. It's, you don't kidnap the president. And like I said, Michael Madsen, he's a bit understated, just a bit not really wanting to be there. And in retrospect, it's like, if that's the case, Madsen, then I don't know, maybe Tom Sizemore would have been more into it. Maybe, well, he was doing The Relic, and he was good in The Relic. But yeah, Robert Patrick, he did a good job in Zero Tolerance. Or I don't know, maybe someone weird like Brad Dourif. Why not? I mean, it's about Driver. Intense actor. I'll see Brad Dourif. William Forsythe, he did a couple action films where he was the good guy. Trying to think of... Hell, older actor, Louis Gossett Jr., Danny Glover, I mean... Mark Senior, I mean, I'm just naming random. Eric Roberts. Eric Roberts might have done a better job. He did a good job in The Ambulance, 1990 movie. I don't know. And like I said, there's other little stuff that you notice. Like I mentioned, when the van is going through, you can't really see the cop cars. Or Chief David has some kind of device that follows and can track Michael Madsen, because he wants to keep an eye on him when they kidnap the president. But at the same time, he sees it like we see it. Like as a camera. I'm sitting there going, well, how is he able to see... How is Chief David still able to see the action and explosions as we're seeing it, just because it's a tracking device? I didn't quite understand that either, because Chief David's watching with Michael Madsen's wife on the TV or the computer or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, it goes back to the action. You have this trailer, like the backside of a semi-trailer, taking out the top part of this limo, get the president. I do wish Roy Scheider had a bit more to do. Just pretty much he's a passenger with Michael Madsen, and Michael Madsen decides to change the plan. Which you would think Chief David would have kind of a backup just in case he did that. Or that he would just kill Michael Madsen's wife. Okay, fine, you don't not listen to me? Kind of like the end of Death Wish 4. I told you, Kersey. I told you. But pretty much Roy Scheider's the passenger and Michael Madsen's driving. And again, this is what you get. Chief David's men are shooting up helicopters, and helicopters are slamming to the ground, and there's explosions, and just crazy stunt work. It makes you go, how the hell did they do all this? It's like, okay, we're going to do all this, and then, I don't know, maybe they'll use the footage for other movies. We filmed all the action here in one movie, we'll use these car crashes in other movies. That could be the case, it's happened before. Spoiler, because why not? They get Roy Scheider to safety, explains the situation. Michael Madsen and his buddy we saw earlier, they go to this underground bunker, Area 55. Kind of a weird scene where the guy, his buddies, pretend to be the president. He's in this like body bag looking thing. And the code for the guy to shoot is Cherry Coke. So Michael Madsen told the guy, hey, you ever have Cherry Coke? Oh, that they had a kid? Yeah, Cherry Coke. You like Cherry Coke? I don't know why. Just weird to have Michael Madsen talk a few minutes about Cherry Coke. Yes, I have Cherry Coke. I like Cherry Coke. I like it better than regular Coke. And Coca-Cola. And you did a bit of, shootout. It's funny because there's some of the military guys, because when Roy Scheider is in safety, some people are able to find the president, and then the president will calm them down and tell them what's going on. So some of the military guys are with Michael Madsen. And there's one guy that's, I guess, like a little bit of a martial artist type guy. I don't know who he is, but pretty soon after he gets killed. I mean, the shootout in the underground base is what it is. At the end of the day, it wasn't boring, since most of the movie is action and car crashes and stuff, and even the shootout. Yeah, again, the set is cheap. Angie Everhart, like, she's a villain, but she has maybe a little bit of a moral code. Maybe that's why she doesn't really get a death scene. I think she just knocked out, and I don't think we ever see her again. I could be wrong. I might have missed it. And in super spoilers, it's Madsen gets his girlfriend. The buddy is with... Bad guys are here. The buddy runs. Oh, duh, 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 duh. He gets shot. He shoots the other two. Chief David shoots and kills the buddy. And then Michael Madsen gets on the ground. Hey, I'm a sucker for people going two piece in a biscuit. Try to do a little John Woo style. Without the slow-mo. And then Michael Madsen doesn't seem that affected by his friend dying. I mean, he's in an ambulance, and Roy Scheider says, "I'm sorry about your buddy," and then Michael Madsen's like, "Yeah." Like, he doesn't seem too broken up about it. That's what I mean. Maybe a different actor would have been better in retrospect. That would be a bit more emotive, like Robert Patrick, or even someone like Jeff Speakman and Jeff Wincott, who could put fisticuffs intermixed with the action. So, like I said, I don't mind. I like Michael Madsen as an actor. I can deal with him in the movie. I just don't think he gave a great, solid performance. Like Peter Weller. Peter Weller would have been cool in this. He wasn't bad in Top of the World, I believe it was called. He was great in 50-50. I wish that had a Blu-ray with him and Robert Hayes. Like I said, PM Entertainment, a lot of these movies, at least it's action first and foremost. And like I said, it felt like them and New Image were the caretakers of that action mantle after Canon Films went bye-bye. Because these companies were around in the late 80s, but like when Canon Films died around 93, 94 though, these other companies kind of got more, I think, better action films starting like the mid-90s onward. There's like a couple year span where like Steel Frontier is a fun one. T-Force is another fun one. If you're going in expecting just entertaining action escapism, knowing that these are these were low-budget action films that were ambitious with the action. And that's what you want. I mean, there's other stuff you want, of course, like a lead that you like or a villain that you can enjoy to hate and other stuff, but you at least want the action to be gun-ho and exciting. And I think a lot of these PM Entertainment films, I just appreciate what they're able to do with not even close to the budget of a Fast and Furious or Mission Impossible type of movie. And there's a lot to be said about that and commendable about that. I think it was Joseph Murray and Richard Pepin. Like Richard Pepin was the P and Joseph Murray was the M in PM Entertainment. Some of them like switched up in directing, and then it's their company, and it'd be interesting to hear interviews with those guys and how those movies were made and how they were able to afford it and what the deal is. But anyway, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. If you like the trailer, if you like just a fun, straight to the point, car crash filled movie, it's a lot better than what you see in a lot of movies nowadays. It's not a classic, it's not up there with Commando or Rambo or anything of the sort, but it's fun for what it needed to be. So thanks for watching, take care, we'll see you guys later. Bye bye.